Hello, I'm Ray Rendon. Welcome. We find ourselves in the Pacific Northwest of North America, a realm of breathtaking beauty, where ancient forests carpet the land and mist-shrouded coastlines meet the vast Pacific Ocean. It is a landscape sculpted by immense primal forces, and rising majestically above it all are the great sentinels of this region, the Cascade volcanoes. These magnificent peaks, often capped with brilliant white snow, are not merely mountains. They are living, breathing geological wonders, part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, a vast chain of volcanic activity that encircles the great ocean. Their serene appearance, however, belies a powerful and often violent nature. Beneath their tranquil exteriors, chambers of molten rock churn, a testament to the immense pressures building deep within the Earth's crust. These volcanoes have shaped this land for millennia through cataclysmic eruptions, and their story is far from over. Today, millions of people live in their shadow, their cities and towns sprawling across valleys carved by ancient lava and mud flows. The question is not if these giants will wake again, but when. In this journey, we will explore the 5 most dangerous of these colossal peaks. We will look at their volatile pasts, their present state of unrest, and the potential hazards they pose to the thriving communities nearby. Understanding these natural wonders is not just a matter of scientific curiosity. It is a crucial step in coexisting with the immense power that slumbers just beneath the surface of this stunningly beautiful, yet undeniably perilous, corner of our world. Our journey begins with a name that is etched into modern memory, Mount St. Helens. Before 1980, it was known for its symmetrical, conical beauty, often called the Fuji of America. But on the morning of May 18th of that year, the mountain revealed its true, explosive potential in a dramatic and terrifying display. The eruption was not a simple vertical blast. It began with a catastrophic landslide, the largest in recorded history, as the entire north face of the volcano collapsed. This uncorked the pressurized magma system within, unleashing a lateral blast that scorched over 230 square miles of pristine forest in a matter of minutes. The sheer power was almost incomprehensible. A column of ash and gas soared more than 15 miles into the sky, eventually circling the globe. Pyroclastic flows, superheated avalanches of gas and volcanic debris, raced down the mountain's flanks at hurricane speeds, incinerating everything in their path. The landscape was utterly transformed, from a lush green ecosystem into a gray, barren, lunar-like wasteland. It was a stark and humbling reminder that the forces of nature operate on a scale that can dwarf human comprehension, reshaping the very surface of our planet in the blink of an eye. Today, a new lava dome is steadily growing within the crater left by the 1980 eruption, a clear sign that Mount St. Helens is still very much alive. It is one of the most intensely monitored volcanoes on Earth, providing scientists with invaluable insights into volcanic processes. Its story serves as a powerful lesson, a warning of the immense energy that the Cascade volcanoes hold, and a testament to nature's incredible, and sometimes violent, ability to remake itself. The mountain is not dead, it is merely rebuilding, gathering its strength for a future performance. We now turn our attention to the colossal figure that dominates the skyline of Washington state, Mount Rainier. Standing over 14,000 feet tall, it is the most heavily glaciated peak in the contiguous United States. Its majestic, ice-clad slopes hold more frozen water than all the other Cascade volcanoes combined. While this contributes to its breathtaking beauty, it also represents its greatest threat. This immense mantle of ice and snow is a catastrophe in waiting, a key ingredient for one of nature's most destructive phenomena, the lahar. A lahar is a volcanic mudflow, a fast-moving slurry of rock, debris, and water that can travel for dozens of miles from its source. Should an eruption occur at Mount Rainier, the intense heat would instantly melt vast quantities of its glaciers, triggering lahars of an unimaginable scale. These flows would not be gentle streams. They would be concrete-like torrents, capable of burying entire communities under hundreds of feet of mud and boulders. They would surge down the river valleys that radiate from the mountain, valleys that are now home to hundreds of thousands of people in communities like Puyallup, Orton, and Sumner. The geological record tells a chilling story. The Osceola mud flow, which occurred some 5,600 years ago, was a truly monumental event, covering an area that now includes much of the Tacoma metropolitan area. Scientists know that Mount Rainier has produced such flows repeatedly throughout its history. This is why it is often considered the most dangerous volcano in the Cascades. Its proximity to densely populated areas, combined with its immense ice cap, creates a unique and perilous combination, a sleeping giant whose awakening could have consequences on a scale not seen in our lifetime. Journeying south into Oregon, we encounter Mount Hood, the state's highest peak and a beloved icon for the city of Portland, which lies just about 50 miles to its west. For many, it's a place of recreation, a hub for skiing, hiking, and climbing. Its picturesque slopes are a constant, reassuring presence on the horizon. Yet, like its northern cousins, Mount Hood has a history of activity that demands our respect and attention. It's a volcano that whispers its intentions through frequent, subtle tremors and the quiet release of volcanic gases from its fumaroles. Mount Hood's eruptive style is different from the explosive blast of St. Helens. It tends to produce lava domes, viscous, sticky mounds of lava that grow and collapse. The collapse of these domes can generate dangerous pyroclastic flows and trigger lahars that sweep down the Sandy, Zigzag, and White River valleys. The last significant eruptive period occurred just over 200 years ago, shortly before the arrival of Lewis and Clark, which is, geologically speaking, the blink of an eye. The evidence of this activity is still fresh on the landscape, a clear indication that the volcano's plumbing system is active and capable of reawakening. The primary concern for Mount Hood is its profound connection to the region's infrastructure and population. A future eruption, even a moderate one, could have far-reaching impacts. It could disrupt major transportation corridors, compromise the water supply for surrounding communities, and send lahars coursing through valleys that are now dotted with homes, resorts, and vital infrastructure. Mount Hood's frequent seismic swarms are a constant reminder that the magma chamber beneath it is stirring, a gentle but persistent nudge from a giant that we must never take for granted. Further north, near the Canadian border, stands the imposing form of Mount Baker. Like Mount Rainier, it is heavily draped in ice, holding the second-largest glacial system in the Cascade Range. Its pristine, white appearance gives it an air of Arctic remoteness, yet it is a volcano with a dynamic and restless character. Throughout its history, it has been one of the most active volcanoes in the arc, and in recent decades, it has shown signs that its internal heat engine is far from dormant. Its most prominent feature, Sherman Crater, is a hive of geothermal activity. In 1975, there was a dramatic increase in this activity. Fumarole output surged, melting a vast amount of snow and ice within the crater and creating a small crater lake. The heat flow increased tenfold, and the area was closed to the public for fear of an imminent steam explosion or slope collapse. While an eruption did not materialize, the event served as a wake-up call. It demonstrated just how quickly a seemingly quiet volcano could spring to life. The activity has since subsided from its 1975 peak, but Sherman Crater continues to vent significant amounts of volcanic gas, a visible plume of steam that confirms the presence of hot magma below. The danger from Mount Baker is twofold. An explosive eruption could produce significant ashfall, impacting air travel and communities across Washington and southern British Columbia. But the more immediate hazard, much like with Rainier, is from lahars. An eruption melting its glaciers would send devastating mud flows down the Nooksack and Baker River valleys, threatening communities like Ferndale and the Baker River Hydroelectric Project, a crucial source of power for the region. Mount Baker may be a more distant figure for the major metropolitan centers, but for those living in its direct path, it is a very present and powerful force. Our final volcano is perhaps the least known, but one of the most explosive, Glacier Peak. Tucked away deep in the wilderness of the North Cascades, it does not dominate a major city's skyline. Its remote location means it is often overlooked, but geologists know its secret. Glacier Peak has a history of producing eruptions that are far larger and more powerful than those from Mount St. Helens. It is a true giant, capable of cataclysms on a massive scale. Its name is deceptive. It is not just a peak with glaciers, but a volcano of immense potential. The evidence is written in the earth. Deposits from its past eruptions are found spread across vast distances, from Idaho to Montana. Some of its past eruptions have been more than 5 times larger than the 1980 Mount St. Helens event, ejecting enormous volumes of ash and triggering lahars that traveled over 60 miles to reach what is now Puget Sound. Because of its remote and rugged setting, it is the most difficult of the Cascade volcanoes to monitor, a wild and untamed giant that keeps its secrets well hidden beneath its icy cloak. Should Glacier Peak awaken, the consequences would be severe. An explosive eruption would blanket much of the Pacific Northwest in a thick layer of ash, disrupting agriculture, transportation, and daily life for millions. Even more concerning are the potential lahars, which would thunder down the Skagit and Sauk River valleys. These valleys are more sparsely populated than those around Rainier, but they contain critical infrastructure, including major highways and dams that supply a significant portion of Seattle's electricity. Glacier Peak is the definition of a hidden threat, out of sight, but certainly not out of mind for those who study the awesome power of this volcanic chain. We have journeyed through a land of giants, each with its own unique character and its own formidable power. From the explosive temper of Mount St. Helens to the icy threat of Mount Rainier, these volcanoes are not relics of a distant past. They are an active and integral part of the Pacific Northwest. They are the architects of this magnificent landscape, and they will continue to shape it for millennia to come. Living in their presence requires a deep respect for their power and a commitment to understanding their behavior. This is why the work of scientists and volcanologists is so profoundly important. Through constant monitoring of seismic activity, ground deformation, and gas emissions, they act as our sentinels, listening for the faintest whispers that might signal a giant stirring from its slumber. This vigilance provides the crucial time needed for communities to prepare and respond, transforming potential catastrophes into manageable emergencies. Public safety in this region is directly linked to our ability to watch, listen, and learn from these magnificent mountains. The story of the Cascades is a powerful reminder of our place in the natural world. We are inhabitants of a dynamic, ever-changing planet. By learning more about the volcanic hazards in our own backyards, we empower ourselves to live more safely and harmoniously with the incredible forces that have forged our world. I really encourage you to explore the resources available from geological surveys and emergency management agencies. For in knowledge, there is not only fascination, but safety. Thank you for joining me on this exploration.